friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Emily and today I have a really fun book haul video to share with you. I have a collection of different books that I've gotten either from the thrift store, from my library, just secondhand online, or from a Instagram account that sells books. I very rarely buy brand new books. I maybe buy like half a dozen in a year, if that. Like that's probably an exaggeration. I almost always buy secondhand books. I just can't, the price is just too good. So I have a pretty significant stack of books to share with you today, and then I have a library book sale that's coming up next weekend, so I was like, well, I need to go ahead and share these books that I have before we have more books that I'm inevitably going to purchase, hopefully. There have been a couple times I've gone to the library book sale and it has been, I've come home with like 1 or 2 books. Then there was even one time that I didn't come home with any books, but then there's other times where I've come home with like 25 books, so. Yeah, so let's just quickly try and go through all of these. I know that these 2 books I intentionally specifically bought. I typically shop online for secondhand books from Abe Books. I've also heard people call it ABE Books. I've always called it Abe Books. So I specifically purchased Angela Thurkel's High Rising. I love this cover and everything. I've heard a lot about Angela Thurkel. I've heard a lot about her books. I've heard a lot about her series. I have wanted to read this book for probably a couple years now. So I decided to finally go ahead and make the plunge and purchase it. So it's just this beautiful edition. This is the Virago Modern Classics, which I love pretty much all of their cover art for the Virago Modern Classics. They're just so beautiful. And then I purchased Catherine Cookson's The Glass Virgin. This is one of the only Catherine Cookson books that I've read, and I absolutely love it. I actually saw the miniseries based off of this book first. It's one of my all-time favorite period dramas, and so then I've read the book previously, but it has been a number of years since I've read it because I couldn't find it at the library, I couldn't find it online, or as like an ebook. I couldn't find it anywhere, and so I was like, you know what, I just need to have a copy because I love it. So I'm hoping to actually reread this one sometime this year, but I'm very excited to have my own copy now. Okay, and then so I have a stack of books that I got from my library here just a few days ago, and I love how a lot of libraries, I think, at least the ones that I've been to, they've really started doing this like sale book section where you can buy books just all year round. And my local library that I have now, it has a pretty small sale section. There's not much, but there's a library that used to be my local library that's about 45 minutes away, and it has also a small sale section, but they do a twice annually book sale, and that's the book sale I'm going to next week, and they typically have tons of books. So I have that whole stack. Let's actually just go ahead and talk about that stack since I've just blathered on about it. I have a lot. So the way that my local library does it is they have each book is 50 cents, or you can get 3 for $1. So I got this whole stack of books for $2.50. So I got The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. I love this book. I have read it twice that I know of. It was a book that my husband recommended to me when we were dating, I think, and I read it and I absolutely loved it. So I was so excited when I saw that there was a copy of it there, and it's like in pristine condition. It's one of the Penguin middle grade copies, and I love that it's an ex-library book because they've put that like plastic reinforcement on the cover, so it's just so sturdy and nice. I'm just so happy to have this one. Then I got a number of Jeanette Oak books because there were some books that I wanted, and then I was trying to like fill it out and do like 3 for $1, and you know how it is. So I grabbed A Gown of Spanish Lace, Too Long a Stranger, and A Bride for Donegan. These are all by Jeanette Oak. I can't remember. I feel like I've read A Gown for Spanish Lace, but I don't recognize these 2. And I go back and forth on Jeanette Oak. Some of her books I really like, and some of them have been like, eh. But you know, and they're 50 cents a piece. Then I grabbed Logan's Island by Mary Wiberly, and this was 100% because of my recent discovery and love of Betty Neal's. This is another vintage Harlequin romance, and so I have a feeling it's going to be not the same because it's a different author, but in the same vein. I'm really hoping that it's going to be another like pretty clean, or not clean, closed door, like nothing too spicy or whatever. And I love the cover. Like, look at that. It's so pretty. But it says, Helen had inherited an island off the coast of Brazil jointly with an unknown man called Jake Logan. Its name, Island of Storms, just about summed up the wildly antagonistic relationship that promptly developed between the two of them. So it sounds like an enemies to lovers sort of a thing. And I couldn't resist it. It just was too cute. So then I grabbed this one, Around the World by Matt Phelan, I'm not exactly sure. This one was kind of a whim. I grabbed it because it's a graphic novel and it has the most beautiful art style. Like, I absolutely love this. And I think from what I understand that it's talking about, the description on here, it says, as the 19th century wound down, a public inspired by Jules Verne's novel Around the World in 80 Days clamored for intrepid adventure. The challenge of circumnavigating the globe as no one ever had before attracted the fearless in droves. 3 hardy spirits stayed the course. In 1884, former miner Thomas Stevens made the journey on a bicycle, the kind with a big front wheel. In 1889, pioneer reporter Nellie Bly embarked on a global race against time that assumed the height of spectacle. And in 1895, retired sea captain Joshua Slocum quietly set sail on a 36-foot sloop named the Spray, braving pirates and treacherous seas to become the first person to sail around the world alone. So, it sounds like it's the story of these 3 people that went around the world, and it's in this gorgeous graphic novel style, and I just, like, look at this. I couldn't resist it. It just is so beautiful. So, and again, it was a lovely hardcover copy, so super happy with that. And then I grabbed the Calvin and Hobbes Lazy Sunday book. This one was the one that kind of started all of them, because I grabbed this one because I was like, oh my goodness. My husband and his brothers all absolutely loved Calvin and Hobbes growing up. I think his family owns the entire collection. And I was like, we need to have our own entire collection, and this will be the start of it. So I love Calvin and Hobbes. I actually crocheted for my toddler a Hobbes tiger. I might see if I can find a picture just to pop it up here. It turned out so cute and so good. It was from a free pattern, but yeah, I also love Calvin and Hobbes. Just couldn't resist it. And then that same day, I had gone to our local Goodwill and I found a Wonder Book by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This was a book that my mom read to us when we were growing up, and it's just full of all sorts of the, like, I don't know if we would call them fairy tales necessarily, but they're like myths and things. And this one is a beautiful copy. It's a hard cover, and it's got these different, like, gorgeous illustrations in it. And this is a book that I have found to be hard to find. And so I was thrilled when I saw it at Goodwill in such good condition for $1.60. So, you know. Okay, then the rest of these books, I can't remember. I think most of them came from a online shop that I purchased from. It's called Brown Paper Packages Book Mail. It's an Instagram account that I follow, and she finds books and sells them. I think all of them came from that, but I can't remember for sure. This one I might have found at Goodwill. I don't remember, but this is Mrs. Jeffries Learns the Trade by Emily Brightwell, and it's the first 3 books in the Mrs. Jeffries series, and from what I understand, it's a detective guy and his housekeeper, and she's the one that, like, helps him solve the clues. And I was kind of intrigued, and so I thought I'd give it a shot. So there's that. And then I grabbed The Luckiest Girl by Beverly Cleary, and I don't know anything about this really. It just looked like it was an older like more romance book, like an older kids book, because I love Beverly Cleary's like Henry Huggins and Ribsy and some of the, what is it? I want to say Ramona, but I don't remember if that's right. I think that's right. I didn't love as many of those books just because if it's Ramona, she was a little much. But I loved Henry Huggins or is it Higgins? No, it's Huggins. And Ribsy. I remember that my mom had this one paperback edition of Ribsy with the dog running on it. And so I love her writing, so I was like, why not? Then I got Rumor Garden, Pippa Passes. And this, I believe, is a ballet book, and I've heard a lot about Rumor Garden, and I've been wanting to read some more of her books, so I was super excited about this. But it says at 17, Pippa Fane is the youngest and most recent recruit to London's Midland City Ballet. As one of the many dancers in it's French, I can't do French, the lowest rank in the company, Pippa is one of its brightest hopes. She is amazed and delighted when she is chosen to go on its forthcoming Italian tour, her first ever trip abroad. And then it goes up from there, but I'm excited about this. I love ballet. I was obsessed with ballerinas and things when I was a little girl, and Ballet Shoes was one of my all-time favorite books, so I'm very excited to try that out and see if I like it as well. Then I recently talked about this in my spring books, but I picked up The Singing Tree by Kate Sarity. I love this duology. It starts with The Good Master. That's my baby. As I was saying, I love that series. I'm hoping to get The Good Master, and then I will have both of them, and I will give them a reread because I love them. Then I picked up Miss Hickory by Carolyn Sherwin Bailey, and this is a book that I remember reading as a little girl, and I remember loving it. I don't remember exactly what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's about this little lady doll that goes around and has adventures and stuff, and I remember loving it. I saw it and I couldn't believe it. It's such a good copy of it, so got that one. I grabbed The Ladies of Missolonghi by Colleen I don't know how to pronounce it, but I grabbed this one because this is the same author that wrote The Thornbirds, and I haven't worked up the guts to read The Thornbirds yet because this is terrible. I read the plot for the mini-series it was based off of, and it just sounds like so much sadness and drama and like all this stuff, and I'm sure it's very good, but I just haven't worked up the mental energy to tackle that. But I wanted to try out her writing, and so when I saw this book, I was like, ooh, that looks like a nice short book, and I want to give it a try. So it says it's the Harper Short Novels series. Also, look at that painting is just beautiful. Then I grabbed, two different Miss Read books. I got Miss Read Changes at Fairacre. I'm trying to collect all of her books. And then Miss Read Affairs at Thrush Green. I have a number of the Thrush Green books now, but I didn't have this one yet. Then I got George MacDonald, The Tutor's First Love, and I'm trying to collect some of George MacDonald's novels. I need to read some of them and see if I actually even like them. I remember loving his like children's books growing up, but I haven't actually tried any of his like adult novels, so I need to give one a try. But yeah, grab that one. And then I got Pollyanna at Six Star Ranch by Virginia May Moffett. And this one I mainly got because I love the Pollyanna books. I think I read them, or reread the first one. I think it was last year or the year before, and then I read the second one. And I didn't realize that there are a number of Pollyanna books written by like other authors. And so this is supposed to be when she's like 16, when Pollyanna's 16. And I also bought it because it's a beautiful vintage book, and I love the illustration, and it's from the Grosset and Dunlap, and I just love their books, like their old books, so I had to. Then this is one of my all-time favorite books. I got Elizabeth Gaskell's North and South. Amazing, phenomenal story if you like Jane Austen, if you like Charlotte Bronte, if you like Louisa May Alcott, like all of those sorts of like older, more classic books. Give give North and South a try. It is so sweet and lovely, and I have been wanting to own a copy for a good while, so I was thrilled when I saw this one. This was another one that I was super excited about. This was one of my all-time favorite childhood books, and it's The Boxcar Children by Gertrude Chandler Warner. Yeah. And she had, the bookseller on Instagram had this pristine hardcover copy of it, and I was so excited about it. I'm just thrilled to have this because I remember just loving this. I've read it a number of times, and I'm just thrilled to have it in my library for my kids to read and for me to reread, because I love it so much. It's about 4 children. I think they're orphans, and they end up living in an abandoned train boxcar, and it's like the story of their adventures of trying to survive. And it's wonderful. And then this one was a little bit of a, not exactly impulse buy, but I couldn't resist like the illustrations and things. So it's called Treat Shop, and it is are they called anthologies? It's a collection of like stories and poetry, and it's part of a series that was made of these collections. But I just like the different illustrations in it. This is hard to show one-handed because I'm a small child here. But like just this style of artwork, and it's careful, Bubby. He's falling off my lap. Just all the different like stories and poems, and I couldn't resist it. And it's in, again, like pretty much pristine condition. And now I really want to get the rest of the books in the series, because apparently there is, where did it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 total books like this. And I have Treat Shop, so now I really want the other 5. But who knows if that'll happen. But yeah, I was just so excited to have this. So that is all the books that I was able to pick up, or those are all the books I was able to pick up here in the last few months. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to be going to a library book sale soon, so there will be another book haul video at some point soon. But yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful spring, and I will see you very soon on the next one. Bye!